Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to Historian Stitch, or welcome to Historian Stitch. So today I am getting ready for the event this weekend, which is Funkstown, Maryland. So freaking excited, but I'm getting everything together, and Mom and I are overachieving, majorly. We are going to be having a historic tea with a fashion show at the same time. So I am making really little buttermilk bread pans, and I have shortbread cookies and lemon cakes, and Mom made regular white bread for sandwiches. We have a tea party in a box at this point, so we have a tea box which is full of assorted teas. We've got sugar cubes, we've got like 5 or so teapots and 20-some teacups, and all of the spoons and the napkins and plates, and everything is in one box. So, it's been fun, but basically, for the fashion show part, that's mainly my thing, and lovely pile of clothes here. I am going to be doing a lot of different things, also bringing some extra stuff in case we need to dress other people, but all of this is going to fit in that box here eventually. But once that's done, there is going to be a video at the end here, a last part to this, of butter making in a food processor, because I have said it many times at work that you can do it that way in about 15 minutes time, and today it might take even less than that because it is humid as can be, and as far as I can tell, humidity has a big part or big role in how quickly butter gets churned. We're not using the churn today. I could. We don't have enough milk for that, at least not for Mom's churn. It's a good 5-gallon churn compared to the 1-gallon churn I've been using at work. But for every gallon of cream, you can get about 2 pounds of butter, and we will be making them into little discs with some designs on top, because Mom has little tiny butter presses. We have a big one that makes a pound of butter. We're going to make little ones now. So, once I have everything put up, I will be running over to Mom's house. I'll have the camera set up. We're going to do that so that you all can see what it looks like in the food processor, because it speeds it up, obviously, but it also makes it easier to see because the food processing bowl is clear. You can see what is happening in the butter churn that you normally can't see. So, it's going to be a fun day. I apparently need to stop drinking so much coffee, but I'm going to put everything up, get ready to go, and yeah, I'll see y'all in a bit. Alright, y'all, so through this whole chunk, basically, I had the heavy whipping cream in the food processor for all of about 20-ish minutes, give or take. It took a little longer than it did the first time Mom and I did this. But I think it was a little too cold in the house, maybe? That, or I had way too much in the food processor to begin with, because I think we only did a quart of it last time. But nonetheless, I progressively thickened to the point of here. You can see it thickening. It's more of a heavy whipped cream, which is what it is anyway, but it's like whipped cream. If I put sugar in there now, I can use it as a topping, and from there, it's a very short time before it turns into butter. butter. Alright, and then there's this part, at the beginning of the video, or at the beginning of this particular chunk, I run over to the ice machine, I put ice in both buckets of water, which is super important so that the butter doesn't melt while you are pressing the rest of the whey, or the whole milk, out. Basically, the milk that is left in the container right here is the whole milk that we drink today. Still has a lot of protein in it, so you can make a lot of cheese, or cottage cheese, or ice cream, or pretty well anything with it. Or use it as is, it is buttermilk. Tastes like buttermilk, it's a little less bitter than the store-bought stuff. I don't know what they do to it. But in the case of this video, I actually did end up using it to make more buttermilk bread, because the bread that I was making at the beginning of this video ended up burning to a crisp. I tossed some out to the birds and they didn't want to eat it either, so remade some using this buttermilk. It tasted awesome, so everything here got used for that tea party at Funkstown. But basically, I am pressing the whey, or that whole milk, out as best I can, rinsing it occasionally, making sure it stops melting in my hand. I did that 4 or 5 times. I don't quite remember how many times I did that this round, but you usually go until the water comes clean, because the more of that whey you have out of it, the longer that butter will last. The whey is what makes the butter sour or rot, but that's also why you salt it, which I end up doing here in just a bit once I refill my water bowl so that I can start over. That salt isn't just for flavor, it does make it last a little bit longer, but that's also when you're making things like shortbread cookies. Especially with older recipes, they are assuming that your butter has salt in it. So if you use an unsalted butter, your shortbread cookies taste very different than they would with salted butter. And I have found that when you can salt your butter to your particular taste, works a whole lot better, tastes a whole lot better than store-bought butter, and it's hard to bounce back to store-bought after this. Alright, so now that the butter is washed, rinsed, and made, it's time to boil these. They both have designs on the bottom. This is what we're going to make our little pats of butter with. So yeah, just need to make sure they're good and clean, which is why we are boiling them first, because historically that's what they would do anyway. It gets it just as clean as soapy water, just no soap residue left stuck to them. So yeah. On to the next. Well, these are kind of working, but I'm not quite sure how to get them off without ruining the design on top. There's 3 of them. Now just for however many more until this pound of butter is gone. Alright, so this has been a couple weeks, a couple weeks since doing all of this. Couple of things. I figured out how to get the butter off. You have to use hot water to heat up the wood mold before it will release. That way the butter partially melts. I was trying to use ice water with those first 3 and it wasn't working at all. Also found out that that particular press doesn't work very well anyway because of how it's shaped, so the round kind of bullseye one didn't get used, but the other one that made the shape of the ones for the very first picture to this video, basically. The press that made that worked wonderfully right up until it broke in half because at some point it had been glued back together and boiling it melted the glue. So, but we ended up with a lot of little packs of butter because all of them were a little too big for what we needed. So I froze them, cut all of them in half. So I had twice the amount I had to begin with. We had probably over 100 little pats of butter by the end and only took, actually no, we took all of them except for like 5. Most of them got used, but a lot of them got brought home. So it is what it is, but it actually worked really, really well. And yeah, with that, I will bid y'all good night, or good morning, or whenever you're watching this video. Like, follow, subscribe. I'll talk to y'all next time, and be on the lookout for more videos on, my 1700 stuff. It's progressing. If you follow on Facebook, then you know that the stays are coming along progressively. At least with the front bust piece, or busk piece. I've got the binding and the lining pinned to it. I just need to actually put it down. So there will probably be 4 videos for the stays coming up of the progression of those getting made. And then it's just the bed gown or the short gown that I have to make, and the cap. I'm going to copy my cap from the German farm because it's the easiest, assuming I have enough linen for it. But yeah, with that, I will see y'all next time. Bye! Also, final note. All of the music in this video, and a lot of my other ones at this point, is from O'Hurley's band in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Every, I want to say it's Thursday night, they at least used to have a live performance of anybody can come in and hang out and listen to them play. A variety of songs. They never know what's actually going to happen or who's going to show up whenever they do it, but it's awesome. They're great people. I had the pleasure of playing with them once, and I chose to never do it again because all I could do was harmonize and hope for the best because my sight reading skills were not great, and they still aren't. But yeah, they do have CDs and stuff, so look them up. They're really good. So, yeah, with that, everybody have a good day or night. Bye!